Hi, my name is Amelia Lumpkin, and I am an actor on Assigned Female at Birth. I play the character Diamond, and recently I've been added to the diversity and script teams. So I'm here today to share an interview with you, and I will be interviewing Indigo.
Hello, I'm Indigo Dawn. I use they, them pronouns or ella in Espanol. I do one on one work, coaching, touch therapy with social change makers who have a history of trauma. And I also do work with groups with Center for a New Culture.
Can you talk about, I know you mentioned your identity as gray sexual, and I happen to know you also do some polyamory. Can you talk about how those identities come together and how they might connect to this queer outlier world in Assigned Female at Birth?
At its best, I have an association with queer outlier community as a place that's compassionate towards the wide array of human expressions and truths. So for me, the intersection between my gray sexuality and my polyamory has been an important catalyst for dismantling the scarcity mindsets, the expectation of, the cis heteronormativity within myself. And so, like with my current partner, in tuning in with myself more and more and more and getting to know my body and what it feels like to have desire or not. Right now with my partner, we haven't had sex in like a month, and I've had to go through this process because she's a trans woman. She is having sex with her other partner, and they have these wonderful kinky dynamics, and there's a way she meets her sexual needs deeply and fully with my metamor in a way she doesn't with me. And so just this process of living that is hearing the voices that's like, no, but if y'all don't have PIV sex, then she doesn't love you. And getting to say, okay, who taught you that? I have these conversations within myself. So it's having the conversation, wow, that's interesting. I hear you feel really strongly about that. Who taught you that?
Mm.
And I'm curious, like, were they right about other things? Was the media right about your gender? And this little voice is like, no. It's like, okay, well, maybe it was wrong. Maybe all the movies, maybe all your parents' expectations, maybe they were wrong. And there's a way at
Mhm.
first the little self was like, you seem right, but I have emotions. And now it's becoming more and more just normal. It's
Mhm.
this process of organically dismantling the monocis heteronormativity, because I don't have the markers of security that those parts need to remain rigid or to remain calcified in the way that they were put there by others.
This interview might be someone's first encounter with the word polyamory. Can you back up
Yeah.
and define that a little bit for us? And then also spark those parts that sometimes people get wrong.
So, polyamory, at its core, its definition is the capacity to, or the practice of, an orientation towards loving more than one person. And the core is that love. There's nothing else core about it. Sex, having legs, anything else you could think, it's just the love.
Hmm.
And some common misconceptions are that it includes moral depravity,
Mm,
that in some way it seeks to harm nuclear families or is just cheating. You're just dressing it up, it's just cheating.
mm.
Or it's all about the sex. I will be the first, my lived experience, it's not all about the sex.
So I love how you brought us down to the seed. It's about love, many. That's the main goal there.
Because polyamory is becoming more and more popular, more and more people are adopting it, it's becoming more and more diverse culturally. There's much more media representation, there's more like labels out there, there's more that people can just take on and adopt. What I love about ethical non-monogamy, polyamory specifically, is it's really about authenticity and choice. It's
Mm,
about dropping external rules, expectations, boxes, and taking out a blank sheet of paper, maybe having some books, having some colors other people have used that's useful. I found it useful. And then being like, okay, what do we need together? What do we want to create together?
mhm.
Personally, I would prefer just in every nuanced way to move into, to be part of, to be living and creating nurturance culture, collaboration culture.
Wonderful. Yes, I think actually that really ties in well to AFAB because one of the multiple things the web series is doing is fostering and building these communities of allyship, kind of finding folks and bringing folks together with a wide-ranging variety of marginalized identities and also other identities that are not marginalized, right? But I do think this finding, building, and fostering allyship until it goes beyond that, and we realize that the future we're looking to build has a different center to it, has this impulse out of neutrality and into reimagining and building things that we can't quite see. If there are folks who are viewing this right now who are curious and want to know more, where would you recommend they go to learn more?
I have a talk that's free, widely available, where I go in depth. It was actually for Pride Month, where I do some compassionate education sourced in my experience about the asexual spectrum, about genderqueer and different gender identities and sexual orientation and um, a whole bunch of stuff.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for sharing your ideas, your experiences, and even some other connections with us. I just want to remind folks to check out the web series and keep enjoying our narratives, but also taking those moments to ask questions. When you see something new, you can find our interviews and videos that we're trying to make even more of on the diversity team on our YouTube channel. So please check that out. And thank you so much, Indigo, for sharing. I've really enjoyed this interview and I've been learning as we've gone through it as well.
Yeah, I've had fun too.